Chandan Chaudhary, I would like to bring you in here. You know, Mamata Banerjee's West Bengal's reputation as far as law and order is concerned is already taking a hit. And undermining the rule of law and using police to, politically motivated actions of hers, as claimed by the Enforcement Directorate, further goes on to show the state of affairs in West Bengal. Do you think that Mamata Banerjee is spooked ahead of the elections?
It is quite simple, as we had discussed before. That's the kind of optic is being generating and randomizing just before the election. Now, one thing is very clear, as I told you, even the fast file, that it is condemnable that the chief minister is entering and bringing out the files. But again, underlining in front of the eyes of the ED officials. Now, the question is here. They are just hyperactive now, and they were hyperactive before. But ultimately, during the time she had invaded, there was nobody who could really prevent. Now, that really created the kind of optic, and here the discussions run on, these particular way that these, as I tell you, that two parties, optimization into the election and the election year and just before the election by creating this kind of, the stage shows. I'm sorry to say the kind of stage shows, even in Delhi, what you see, and in Kolkata, as you see. Now, the general issues, which are so related to the living of the people of Bengal, related to the daily course of lives, ultimately being violated, ultimately being denied. The chief minister is entirely busy. You see, since yesterday, even today, almost 48 hours, she is busy keeping herself by proving that she did right thing yesterday, and the opposition parties are simply doing like joy. It's kind of, the way illustrating the motion of BJP in favoring their stand in Bengal. But the question is that, is it exact optic that they tried to mutually create? That is the great question of the people in general. And I tell you that we are decimated. We are zero, but still we are not vanished. We are asking this question. And this is where it is. But hyperaction of the ED or CBI, if you question that, definitely we had experienced before. Several states earlier, we had seen Chidambaramji was arrested even by scaling the wall, and the CBI officials in his room and finally took him away from there. DK Shiv Kumarji was arrested and spent in
That's
jail.
right. Several
We had
Congress
riot
leaders have been
officials.
raided by the
We had
Enforcement
several.
Directorate, but
Yes,
none of these
yes,
leaders,
yes.
ran away
We
from
are
their
not
homes
supposed to.
with those crucial
Absolutely
files.
true.
Now, Mr.
Deepak,
Firoz
you
Khan,
are
before I
saying
come
the
to you,
right.
never has Mamata Banerjee interfered in the manner that she interfered in when the ED sleuths reached the IPAC office and also Pratik Jain's house. How do you look at this?
See, Mr. Deepak, it is just a moment as we are just going to check the crisis as it happens. But once you are going to, watch the history, then you must go back 2013 when Congress Party in Bengal has first raised this issue of Sarada, which was a scam of 24,000 crores. And then 2015, we had raised this, and again just appealed to the court for investigation. Naroda, that was quite evident that the leaders of the Trinamool Congress who were receiving, the bribes on camera. So ultimately, ED and CBI were involved into these investigations, and today is 2026, where we find no movement in the cases. And finally, most of them who were arrested are released, and then the cases are not being heard anymore. Now, the question is that if that is the particular way that the optic is created just before the election, 2021 election, assembly election, you might have, you could have remembered that it was a game directly between the prime minister and chief minister, and polarized the entire game. Finally, we were disseminated, but we never vanished from Bengal's politics. I just simply wish to have a particular draw of a particular portrait where we can check, we can see that the chief minister was coming out in front of the eyes of the ED officials with the green color files, and that has completely shocked the country. I tell you, where the raid was happened, just because of some malafide, the files and informations and all these, the kind of the plane rides and all. But she went in as a chief minister, and definitely as a chief minister, because she had definitely had shown her power, and then entered in the building, took out all these. What does it interpret? Do you really think that this is an optic? Do you really think that this is no optic? But it is a question between two. As it had happened before, nevertheless, nothing happened. And then again, ED is questioning now in the court of law. But yesterday, what they were doing? ED officials were doing nothing yesterday. Have never tried to even prevent the chief minister or what. It is not what the chief minister had not been, the booked instantly. We had seen Hemant Soren even the last instance. But the question is not that. The question is, if two official bodies are threatening each other, that the Bengal police, or you see that the Bengal officials of the police department, as well as the ED officials, I mean, they were loggerheads. So we must understand this could have been turned into a crisis, and that is turning. But our view is the kind of optic is made, that is definitely being undercurrent in the West Bengal politics when the election comes, and this kind of optics are created. So we protest this, and we want the kind of justice to be meted out to the people, those who had suffered during this time. I mean, this all the times, like the cases that we had put in the court of law. And then I must...
Chandanji, what really raises eyebrows is how the top cops of Bengal